So guys, if you're watching Gregory Mannarino, he'll give you economics and also trading and also stock market and anything to do with the politics of the world. So that guy will update you about the world and what's going on with them behind finance as well. So just realize anyway, there's very somebody who can actually update you about life as well upon those subjects. So just be sure to actually go and grow with him and learn from him as well, while I'm also updating you also about everything in terms of life. So make sure you understand that you have us two as coaches, and anyway you have life coach in Jesus Christ as well. And then just go and enjoy yourself and just make sure that you're great. Alright guys, anyway, all I want to make now is I want to make some nice and beautiful noodles over here. I deserve some noodles, guys, so I'm making sure no matter what I have some noodles here in preparation. And as I make noodles, I feel like just showing you guys very quickly upon what I'm doing around life. And as I do life greater, I'm making sure that you guys understand quickly upon why I'm so much more than yesterday and why I'm actually focusing on just dwelling upon actually planning my life in a way that I'm understanding I'm moving forward, but I'm understanding that it's much more how I feel. I love life. I have to understand that no matter what, that I love life so much in a way of helping everybody to succeed in different ways is what I do. But if you understand no matter what that you go and grow yourself quickly and just step ahead of the crowd and just be ahead of the crowd always. But I'm understanding how much predicament other people have. I promise you, they are lost Australia. I promise you, they have no clue about this. They have no clue how lost they are. I mean, they're lost puppies. I mean, understand? I understand all that. I love puppies. I love everything. If you want to do great in life, you have to get around people who can teach you life much more. Because I understand how people are losing much more than me. I'm understanding straight away how much of an advantage I have over them. I'm making sure anyway, I just learn very quickly upon how I'm actually doing in comparison to them. I can see the word difference. I can say straight away, I'm doing far greater. Because I'm willing to give words. I'm willing to give far more words than they are. And that's why I'm more successful. And that's it, Brosh. That's the only difference between me. Brosh, that's the only difference between I and them. And I'm much better than me. And that's why I'm learning very quickly upon just doing great in a way that I'm learning to persuade myself to never eat so fast, because otherwise you get hiccups, and I never get hiccups. So I'm making sure that no matter what, I'm learning fast and proactively upon actually just understanding something. But if you want to relieve yourself of hiccups, then all you do is just let it be. I've heard people say you drink some water and you guggle water and all this bullshit, but that's all bullshit. You understand? I mean, you never have to fucking guggle water down to fucking finish up with hiccups. That's so stupid people that lie to you. And you must understand that everything is a trick, but they're saying for you to just guggle water, and they're never fucking trying to solve the problem here, are they? There is no problem though. If you have hiccups, then just hiccup all the fucking way. I promise you, and that's the fucking best way to stop hiccups, mate. I mean, do you understand that? Gosh, they fucking told me to fucking drink water and water and water and water, and fucking guess what happens? Gosh, the fucking hiccups went away, didn't they? Gosh, never because of the fucking water. You understand? And they're fucking idiots. You understand? I mean, they never fucking understand what they're fucking saying, and they say, drink water, drink water. I mean, yeah, you have to, I mean, guess what? I mean, you guys have to drink water in life. So I try to delay water as much as possible. Of course, they never fucking told me that. Of course, all they fucking say is, drink water. I mean, said, that's all they fucking believe. I mean, they believe to drink water. I mean, they never believe to delay water as much as possible. You understand? Now, if you want to go and really help yourself to succeed, make sure that you have a great vibe with you every single day to focus upon understanding that if you're doing anything great for yourself and if you have any great communication with yourself daily, then go and learn how it feels to be ahead of the game in terms of what you're doing. So make sure that you're successful and making sure all the time that you learn quickly upon the strategy of what you're doing quickly, and then just make sure you're cleaning after yourself in a way that you never drop any kind of noodles on the floor or anything like that. But make sure you understand that sometimes it may drop, so just make sure that no matter what, you pick everything up And throw in the bin, please. I mean, never eat anything off the floor, please. And never fucking eat anything off the floor for 5 second rule or some shit. I mean, they fucking told me, oh, Danny, but 5 second rule, man. I mean, fucking, yes, I mean, it can be on the floor for 5 seconds, and then you can eat it. I mean, how fucking long is 5 seconds? I mean, 5 seconds can be 2,000 years. I mean, yeah, I mean, they told me in fucking elementary school in Cabramatta over there. Yeah. Rosh saying, hey. Rosh, is it really Cabramatta? Rosh, now guess what? Rosh, they were fucking telling me over there in fucking elementary and high school. And I'm pretty sure they were telling me in fucking high school over here. Rosh, they were telling me in high school. And they were saying, over there in Cabramatta High School, and saying, hey, I mean, if your food drops on the floor for 5 seconds, I'm sure you can still eat it. I mean, really? I mean, fucking idiot. I love mine. I mean, no, but it has to be up to 5 seconds, and you can still eat it because it's the first touch rule. I mean, fuck off, man. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, if I piss on your food for 5 seconds, I mean, if I piss on your food, I realize if I shit on your food, and then guess what? I realize for the first 5 seconds you can eat it. I mean, if I piss on it for 1 second, then you have 4 seconds to eat it. I mean, do you believe that? I mean, fucking idiots. You understand? I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, do you believe Jesus Christ eats anything that's on the floor? Or should never. Jesus Christ never fucking bends over to fucking eat something on the floor. I promise you. I mean, do you understand? Never does he do that. I mean, forget these idiots who are telling you 5 second rule. And 5 second rule, man. I mean, if barbecue sauce falls on the floor, then pick it up and eat it within 5 seconds. I mean, fuck off. I mean, clean it up and fucking never eat anything that falls on the floor, please. I mean, understand? Because I'm disabling some myths over here. So those are myths. I'm just showing you a greater way, though. I'm showing you that you guys must listen to the nice and beautiful way of saying that if you guys go and actually never eat off the floor, then make sure you understand to stick to Jesus Christ and what he does. Because Jesus Christ never gives you myths. Jesus Christ gives you everything. Now, you must understand anyway that Jesus Christ never lies to you about life. I mean, does Jesus Christ give lies? Or Jesus Christ gives everything. But Jesus Christ is truth, and the information is truth only. I understand? But Jesus Christ tells you right away that he never eats off the floor like that. You understand? Or should they do? Or should they fucking, once you fucking shit on their food for 1 second, and they'll eat it. Because it's within 5 seconds. I understand? Rosh, yeah. Rosh, now, never be around those people. I mean, do you understand? I mean, find yourself around greater people. I understand Jesus Christ is laughing with me today. Rosh, now, what I do today is I'm understanding that I want to go and actually become much more. And I'm actually doing a greater job now. So I'm actually always learning how to actually understand everything is the word I. And that's how I understand. That when I cross myself, I use the word I. Whereas when I do anything to pray, I use the word I. Whereas when I use anything in life, when I talk to Jesus Christ or anybody, I'm using the word I. Rosh, if I have to prove myself to anybody, I'm using the word I. Rosh, that's it. Rosh, why the word I? Because I love you. I say anyway, guys, what you want to do is be able to go and speak more content into people, and make sure always that if you're replying to people all the time, just make sure that you're happy with it in a way that you're growing yourself differently. And just understand straight away that what's important for yourself today is understanding that if people are sussing you out in a way that they're talking about you, it's more that you're doing something positive, and that is why you're really leading people into a greater way of life. Whereas what you need to be doing all the time is focusing on understanding that if people never trust you, they'll never be around them. I mean, just be around yourself only. I mean, trust yourself only, and understand that no matter what, just never ever be around other people who never trust you. I realize when I'm actually doing something of content that helps me grow, I'm making sure I'm learning how to persuade myself in making sure that I have everything I ever need to succeed. So I'm making sure I'm always learning very quickly upon what I need to do to become more. And as I become more, I'm actually doing more content than everybody else, and that's why I'm always learning how to actually become more. So what else I have to do around my nice and beautiful life over here is I have to plan everything, and I have to be making sure that my life is moving forward in the highest regard. and I have to be making sure I have more than enough time to do everything. So what I do is I just plan all day long. I plan all day long to become successful. I realize I deserve it. I deserve to upload content really in terms of very quickly online into Mega Drive, and then all that content goes into YouTube from that point, and that is why I'm succeeding. But what I want to do now is I want to create more videos as well. I want to get to the stage of making more videos as well, so that way I'm learning very quickly upon understanding that no matter what, that for now I can just go and do some audio programs. For now I'm understanding that for the next 24 hours I can just let it be. I understand that no matter what, that in the nice and beautiful moments of my life I just go and make music here and there, and I'm focusing on making sure that I have this nice and beautiful way of life where I'm just doing a nice and beautiful content. But then guess what, I'm just going to really dwell upon a better way. Alright, now what you need to realize is sometimes people go around saying, do you have me on Facebook or something like that, and make sure you understand that what you need to realize is they're trying to make themselves look important about life. So what you say over here is you say, hey, you have me on Instagram, mate. I mean, you're saying because you're trying to make yourself look important and more important than them. So never go adding them online or following them. I mean, make sure that they're following you, because that way you're doing greater in terms of an individuality of somebody who cares in a way that you're growing. I understand with my life over here, I'm not saying that no matter what I'm never getting sick. I'm making sure that no matter what, that my life is moving ahead of the game. I understand some people over there are trying to see what I'm doing. I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly upon what I need to do to succeed differently. And as I succeed differently, I'm making sure I have more than enough success in my life to just be able to go and do greater. So I want to see what's going on over here and understand my nice and beautiful content is uploading, and it's actually my nice and beautiful track file over here, which is my 16 gigabyte file is working. So Idonotopia, 16-bit, and that's my track file. So what I want to do now is, since I have that file, I can let it be, and all I ever export is a 16-bit and MP3 files. And why is that? Because I already have everything I ever need. I already have, Rosh, if you want to steal my content, I mean, go ahead. I mean, go and steal my content then. I mean, go and promote it everywhere, please. Rosh, that's what I'm saying. That what's important for myself over here is making sure that you guys have all the content anyway. So I'm making sure that, yes, it does work. Of course, my content does export at 16-bit files. And I'm making sure now I just export my nice and beautiful way of life over here, where I'm exporting 32-bit files when I'm making stem files in terms of its sound effects. And also just for the track file is all 16-bit. But everything else is inside of my project. And now anyway, since I have the 16-bit file over here, now what I do is I understand no matter what that, yes, I understand that some people can copyright and steal my content. I mean, go ahead. I mean, go and promote it everywhere, man. I mean, they're saying, but that's my content always. And that's something I own. I mean, you can never steal my content, man. I mean, you can never steal my heart. I mean, you can never steal my word eye. I mean, I'm always making sure I'm delivering something of nice and beautiful quality over here. So making sure anyway that what's important is I'm looking greater. I'm making sure that I can date myself in a way that I'm looking nice and beautiful in terms of what I'm doing. So as I focus upon something that I'm learning in terms of what I'm doing, I focus upon seeing exactly what's in my content over here in terms of my phone, so I can go and promote myself very quickly. So I'm making sure anyway that I just go and see all these screenshots, for example, and I place all these screenshots that I do from my conversations with people. I place it into my Mega Drive very quickly. I make sure to place all my content very quickly online in different ways, so I can just go and really love myself completely, to enjoy my life differently. And I just look at all these photos very differently about my life in different ways, and I can go and grow myself, and I just see straight away how people are in terms of life, and I can see how I just do greater always, because I have more words to say. And as I say more words, I promise you, it's always the words. I promise you, the words are much greater. I can see it. And because I understand that frequency of words, I'm actually doing my life a greater job over here, where I can actually understand the words is something that's much more. And the words is something that the images can never explain. But really, Roshi, images can explain words. Roshi, images can explain words, but words are much more than images. Roshi, that's different. Roshi, that's different, but I'm just focusing on delivering. I'm delivering something for nothing. I'm making sure you guys can understand what I'm doing all the time. I'm delivering my content in ways that is helping me move forward quickly. I'm making sure I'm always much more ahead of the game today than ever before. I never want to waste time talking to other people because it's a back and forth conversation with them. I never care about them, man. I never care about talking to them all day long, man. I promise you. Whereas now what I do is I learn from it. I learn from actually talking to other people. So I actually teach you along the way about how to talk to people. And that's why I can talk to other people. So anyway, it's much more how I feel that it's much more of a greater purpose to do so anyway. So what I do over here is I put soundtrack. I put soundtrack over here. I just place my MP3 file. I just want to say part 1. I'm going to say part 1 in terms of life over here, in terms of my Idonatopia track. And I'm just learning very quickly upon just being positive with people. So the thing is, never say no to people. I mean, never say no to people. I promise you, it's the #1 rule of positivity. I mean, your ability to never say no is the best way to say everything. But if you understand, for example, I have some people over here who want to actually see me because they want the words from me. I mean, they want words from me in a way that they want some validation from me. And they want some validation from me in a way that I can give them love in words for their money. And I never do it for their money. But they give me money so that I can give them words of encouragement. And that's why they're coming to me on a day. When they're coming to have some inspiration on a day by somebody who does care. But all they have to do is give me some money. And that's why they're actually coming to see me. Because I feel their products over here in terms of what they have is never working out for them. So what happens is they want to come and see me and what I do. So what I do every single day is I give them the words so that they can see that. And anyway, it's because of that is why they want to come. So what I do all the time is I focus upon understanding that now I'm just learning very quickly upon how people are with me. So as I see people around here, I promise you, some people never care, but other people do. Or should other people never care about my words because why? I mean, they need to see me a bit more. I mean, they need to trust me a bit more before anything happens. I mean, they never want to go giving $200 right away because they have no $200. I mean, they never even have $200. I understand, and that's why. Now, it's never because of me. It's because of I, but it's also because of them. I mean, it's more, I can afford $200. I can be at the event, but they have no affordability to do that. Although it's both the word I. Now, because I understand anyway, that since I grow, that it's more how they can never trust me. I mean, they can never trust my word I. I mean, they can never trust themselves to do it. I mean, they can never trust themselves to do it because they have no money to come and see me. I mean, they don't trust nobody like that. I mean, they have no money for anybody. I mean, so the thing is, they have money to a certain degree, but they want to open up their trust function. They want to open up the trust faction over here. They want to get better before they give some money to me. I mean, they want to get better. I mean, they want to do more Jesus Christ work before they give me some money. That's why. I mean, that's why they're never giving me money, because they need to go do more Jesus Christ work to give me money, because Jesus Christ gives me money when I ask for it. I mean, I have to go to Jesus Christ and say, Jesus Christ, give me $10 million now. Or Jesus Christ, because I ask him, I say, Jesus Christ, can I have $10 million? Or he gives me $10 million. I never demand it from him, but I may be a smart ass to Jesus Christ and says, I want Jesus Christ to give me $10 million. Or Jesus Christ says, I gave you eternity. I understand. So the thing is that they have to open up to Jesus Christ, and that's why they are unable to afford to do so. Or they're unable to afford my $200 that I asked for. because they need to open up to Jesus Christ. That's it. First, they have to trust themselves much more to do it. I mean, in a sense, so when they trust themselves much more, that those people who can give me $200 can trust themselves to do it because they trust me. When they trust me, I mean, they trust themselves. But when you trust me, then you give me $10,000 when you trust me, yeah? I mean, of course, but it's because you trust yourself. I mean, it's because you trust yourself. I mean, or else when I ask for $10,000 and you give it to me, it's because you're trusting yourself to give it to me. You must understand. It's because of you that you give it to me. It's never because of me. But I understand other people. I feel that other people never want to see me because they are unable to. I understand other people here and there in between are making sure that no matter what, that they're coming to see me because they trust me. I mean, they trust me behind the scenes of what I'm doing. So anyway, what I want to do always with what I'm doing over here is I'm learning. I see my Bulge commander sent me some messages. I seen that. I've seen that. Whereas now she goes and deletes the messages because she's talking to somebody else. I have to laugh over here because it's a little joke on my actual mother over here. And I want to make sure I can just say I seen that in a way that I can just laugh. I can just laugh over here. I can really laugh about what is going on around here because now I mean, it's like I tickle her because she's deleting the messages. I mean, she never wants me to see the messages. I say I've seen that. I start laughing. I mean, she's like when she actually goes in this frenzy of these nice and beautiful ways. I had to go and do some screenshots around here. I'm actually understanding anyway. But what I need to do is focus upon understanding that my nice and beautiful content is always delivering itself in a way that I'm learning to just do greater upon what I'm doing. But as I really understand, I can see some guy saying, hey, I say, anyway, I never need to reply to you, man. I never need to reply to you. But guess what? I realize I do a screenshot here. I have to do a screenshot. I'm making sure that they can see me. I'm rushing now. Because they can see me do a screenshot, if I reply here, it's much more how it is that I have to go and do a greater job over here to just let it be. If I reply over here, it's much greater how I feel. So what I need to do all the time is just do another screenshot because he's talking to me more. And I just want to leave the conversation here because I mean, it's so funny because they just see some guy or some woman in terms of life and I'm a man. But I'm understanding that I'm just the word I only. And they see some person just screenshotting their photos and what they're doing. It's the biggest kind of positivity you can get. In a sense, so what you do about life is just focus upon understanding that you need to go and do something around yourself. So focus upon understanding how you can go and grow yourself. So I say yeah. Rosh, that means yeah means like yeah, but it's more like I understand. Say yeah. Rosh, now yeah means I see now. Anyway, Rosh now I just gotta laugh. I have to laugh over here because this is the funniest messages I've ever seen in my life. I'm not Rosh, it's the funniest thing. I mean, my Welsh commander is saying that was never for me. Rosh, everything's for me. Rosh, she hiding over here, and she wants somebody else to see the message, and she never wants me to see the message. I mean, it's true. I mean, yeah. I see. Anyway, the what I want to do is I focus upon understanding. I see, yeah. So yeah. I wish now because I'm actually understanding how to talk with her. I understand that she's that kind of person where she says yeah. Like I see what you mean, and then just keep laughing because that way you have a greater life. And she is trying to shame me as well. I mean, she's trying to shame me as well upon what's going on around here. So never trying to shame people for anything. But the other guy over here, in terms of Snapchat over here, Russia, he is more, for fuck's sake, man. I mean, why are you doing screenshots? Russia, he wants to understand why I'm doing screenshots of everything. So I'm understanding that no matter what, that he's doing screenshots as well. Oh shit, it's the funniest conversation, man. That's the funniest conversation. So, alright, now what I want to do is I want to send him my business card over here. I mean, I'm doing all these kind of screenshots with him, and I'm sending him my business card. So that's how I promote myself. It's the funniest thing. And if I do this, of course, if he comes to my event, I mean, just say I'm just joking with you and just enjoy. But it's much more how nicely you have to go and communicate to people in a way that you're just enjoying yourself. And if you do that approach, it's the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing, and it's actually how when I see this, I promise you, it's much more like, oh, I have to come and see this guy. I have to come and see this guy because this guy is really, really smart to actually promote himself like that. So what I do is I promote myself in my image over here, and I just send him a screenshot over here about making sure that he can see me and he can come to my events and he can come to see what I'm doing. So as I promote myself differently, I make sure I'm very different upon what I'm doing, and as I really, really go and do something about life, it's just the funniest aspect of life when you're promoting yourself, because that way it's something that's actually helping you. I understand Jesus Christ can see that. I mean, it's the funniest thing upon how I'm actually speaking to this guy. So I'm understanding anyway, that's just how I feel. I mean, I feel I just never want to talk to him much. I realize it's much more how I'm talking to him, but I'm talking to him differently. It's a funny conversation. It's the funniest conversation where we're just doing screenshots with each other. We were just doing screenshots. Wait, is that how we talk? It's the funniest thing, man. Alright, now anyway, since my noodles is ready, I'm making sure that I'm doing something new. I'm making sure I go see my nice and beautiful YouTube channel today. I'm going to see my YouTube channel over here. I'll make sure I have everything that's nice and clear. I did upload my content over here. I'm making sure that I just keep on uploading my content over here. I'll make sure that no matter what, I can see straight away how to grow myself quickly. And as I grow myself quickly, I'm focusing on just doing my life great. And that's it. I make sure you understand that these actors over here, I promise you, they're doing something around acting. And that's it. I promise you, it's much more how I can see their lives. I can see they're living a life of, let's say, in terms of a boring lifestyle. Probably their life is so boring. Probably they have I'm pretty sure they have some aspects to do in terms of going out with their friends today, and they're going out with other people in terms of their family members, and that's it. Probably they have nothing else to do, these people, other than looking for opportunities. And now, if they're looking for opportunities somewhere, probably the opportunities is in their words. Probably the only opportunity you can find in life. I understand my biological mother over here is laughing as well. I'm pretty sure she's laughing as well. I did get to her here, so I'm making sure I can just go and laugh out with her over here. I say anyway. I see how I need to go and grow myself over here. I have to make sure to just go and send her these funny kind of emojis over here. I can make sure I can see straight away how this is happening. It's the funniest thing because she can never hide that. I mean, she can never hide that. Or she can never hide that message from me because I haven't got her now, and she believes me over here. I win that over. I mean, if you believe this, that you send me a message, and let's say I seen it, but I realize it's something to do with some kind of message, but I never did really read it. But I said I seen it, and I start laughing, and I say, yeah. I mean, you sent me that message, I see it, I seen that message, and I start laughing, and sending these emojis, and eventually she's laughing with me about it. I'm pretty sure it's much more how, I mean, it's very funny about life. So when you're understanding that, no matter what, that I'm teasing her about the message. I'm saying, I seen the message of what she wrote, I seen it. Oh, you understand? It's the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing. Because that way you're understanding that no matter what, that you're just learning quickly upon just understanding that what you need to do always is life coach and be able to upload your content quickly online. So I'm understanding quickly upon just doing my life now. I'm doing my life differently. I'm making sure I'm doing something different along the way, and then as I do different aspects of life differently, I'm making sure everything is nice and sweet, because that's all I do. I do different aspects of life differently, and because I do that, I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm learning very fast upon what I need to do. So when I really dwell upon something that's really successful about me, I'm making sure I'm dwelling a better way. I'm focusing on something different. I'm making sure I'm giving people new content. I'm doing something to help myself differently. So when I do that, I'm making sure anyway, I place some nice and beautiful Vegeta in my noodles. And I place this Vegeta to just be able to enjoy myself. And that way anyway, I feel fatigue coming along as well. So if you feel fatigue coming along, it's much more time to, let's say, go to sleep in a way that you can go and calm down a bit, and you can go and just talk to yourself all day long, because it's much more about the words. And I say it's always about the words, and I'm always understanding that. But I understand that no matter what, I can feel trust from other people in terms of what's happening around the world. And as I really understand something about life over here, I'm understanding that no matter what, I have much trust in other people in terms of how they trust me and how I'm doing. And I can see straight away that if these people who are in the past realize what I'm doing, for sure, now some of them never trust me at all. I mean, why is that? They never trust me because they have known Jesus Christ as much as I do, and that's why they have to open up, and it's more how I feel. So I feel that no matter what I do in terms of some other people, they never trust me because it's just the way they are. They never trust anybody on that level. You understand? It's much more like that. So no matter what, that if they do it to me, they do it to everybody else. And that's why I'm just growing myself. Although they're much more likely to trust people who communicate to them in words. But if they never want my words at all, then they never trust me, regardless of how much words I give them. I was giving this woman words so much that she blocks me on Facebook. I was giving her words of love, and she never even wants to hear it. I never want to be around her at all. I mean, get lost. I mean, go somewhere else. I mean, you never deserve my words. I see, guys, if you bump into somebody just in random life and you're walking somewhere and you just bump into them, you say, hey, I mean, what's happening? I mean, that's really love, isn't it? When love is when you bump into somebody just randomly, and that way you just enjoy yourself quickly, and you're making sure that you are doing something to improve in terms of to improve your life. So if you want to go and really dwell upon succeeding yourself into victory, then you're focusing upon making sure that you can trust yourself in different ways. So if you can trust yourself and you can really dwell upon different areas of whatever you're doing, then you can go and do a better life. I just focus on, guys, making sure that I'm more successful in different ways of life to make sure that you guys have more than you deserve. So what I want to do daily is I love I, and make sure that no matter what, that as I focus upon speaking to myself in ways that I'm learning and growing upon what I'm doing daily to succeed, I'm making sure anyway I have more enough of what I need every single day to succeed. Because what I need to do now is focus upon just resting. I have to rest because I feel that kind of way now. And it's more I've been all day just going places and I've been speaking. And now, again and again, I see the food and drink is never satisfying for me. It's more the words. The words, again, is pulling through. The words again and again is always pulling through for me. And I understand that now. I can see how words is something that I treasure. And now I love life so much that I have to be creating content. It's something else that is internal for me. I love life. When I'm creating content, whoa, I have to go and create some content. And now that's something that's new, isn't it? Now because I create some content like this, I make sure that it's much more, I realize, I love life. When I'm making music, straight away I can feel this nice and beautiful tendency to get the fuck up and make some music around here because I want to teach people music. And if you want to teach people music and you want to teach more about words, about everything, and you have more passion. And now if you want to go around people to teach them something, then that is your real passion, and that's the biggest turn on, where you can go and strictly go around those people to teach them something about life. And as you teach them much more and more and more, then you're much more passionate about that. And then you have that. And you have much more to have kids with that as well. because you're talking about that, and you just are more passionate about that because it's just like your music production and just like your words today. And that's why it's more important for you now. See guys, so just make sure you're never stuck on anything in terms of life. Just focus on yourself and giving content, and drink some water after you eat, so that way you're stabilizing your body to have the great temperature that you need. And just be able to have some moments with yourself if you want. I mean, just make sure you can just go and grow yourself in different ways, is what I'm saying. So focus on making sure that you have more than enough love for yourself to focus upon doing whatever you need to do to succeed, because anything that's actual words that's actually coming out of your mouth is the best kind of material on the planet. And why is that? Actually, because you're doing more. I mean, also what you want to do is just make sure that you're growing yourself in the best ways possible so you can actually succeed. And just focus on understanding that now I just want to be able to just relax. I want to be able to understand something about life, where I can go and do some Netflix now. I can go and plan my life in different ways always. I want to focus on making sure that I have more than enough to take care of myself with. I'm making sure anyway I'm looking for a better way for myself to understand. It's more about the words that's coming out of my mouth. So I'm understanding that as I succeed, I'm growing. I'm making sure no matter what, I have more enough in what I'm doing. I understand that no matter what, I can see straight away what's going on. I can understand it's much more about my words in terms of my life. And as I speak my words, I understand straight away I'm much more successful. And that's it, guys. I mean, what else is there to do? I mean, the only thing that you can do today is making sure that you're successful upon your life, and making sure that you understand that it's much more about the words. Again and again and again. Or it's always about the words. I mean, I said, or nothing else can satisfy you more than the words. Or the words is eternal. And the words of your life is everything. I mean, you have everything in your words. I have to come over here to the actual here. And I have to actually come and just do my life over here. I have to understand to lay down as well. I mean, why is that? Because I feel that the words over here is something that I need to do. So I'm understanding anyway. As I really read something and I do something to improve my life, I feel that you have to understand that what's important is never lose anything, because you can never lose your words. I mean, you can never lose the words you have. I mean, you can understand that they never have to be around you, but you have your words, don't you? Otherwise, you must understand the words is always with you. I mean, you're always with your words. I mean, you can play puzzles all day. I mean, you can play puzzles with all the words. I mean, how much words can you speak? I mean, go and practice a game and do a game of how much content you can speak out there. I mean, go and fascinate yourself around technology and the information of technology. And or else now, all the information, just understand to fascinate yourself around information alone. I mean, forget everything else. I mean, go and really spark up the attention to go and fascinate yourself around technology in terms of the information. I mean, the information of technology and the information of everything is what enables you to go and do what you want to do. I realize it's more about the nice and beautiful way of thinking something else, where you're focusing on the word I, understanding that no matter what, it's much more how you feel, and you have to understand that if you're doing anything to be alive and to feel well in terms of life, then make sure you never risk it. I mean, make sure you understand that what you want out of life is to succeed, and you never want those images. Otherwise, you want to have much more than that. Whereas what you want is eternal life, is what that is. So eternal life is everything in terms of life. So if you're focusing on something new and you're focusing on just developing somewhere different, and you're focusing on making sure that you're going around the words of life, is much more important than anything else. That's it. My life is being alone with words, and that's it. I mean, there's nothing else that I can do. That no matter what I do now, I understand that I'm always fulfilling myself in the words, because the words of life is different. So I'm understanding that the frequencies that my people from the past are emanating now, some of them are awake and some of them are just, I'm pretty sure all of them are awake. All of them are doing something at this time. I understand that. So it's actual Tuesday over here. So I'm focused upon understanding that no matter what, that I'm just learning very quickly that they go to sleep around 12 o'clock on the low. Anyway, what I do now is I focus upon understanding that it's much more how I feel. And as I speak with myself over here, I understand I have to stick to the words again and again. I mean, the same way I speak words of wisdom to you like this is the same way I overcome everything else. I stick to the words only. I stick to the words, and that way I delay pleasure. I stick to the words and I speak more words over it. And I'm approaching that way. I'm learning very quickly that if you're doing pleasure while doing audio programs, I mean, you're speaking over the pleasure. And guess what? Approaching eventually you get stronger and stronger. And then eventually you don't even have to do pleasure much more. In a sense, because you're speaking over the pleasure all the time. I mean, you're focusing on making sure that if you're someone who's vibing with somebody because you're learning very quickly, it's much more how I solidify my success over here. But I'm understanding that no matter what, that I went around the block, and people are never finding me over there. I mean, people are never coming to the block over here. And now somebody did ask me to come and see them. I never fucking go that far to see them. I mean, that's it. I probably should get them to come see me. Probably, you want to come see me? I mean, give me $200 and you can see me, man. Probably that's how it is, yeah. Probably that's how my new way of life is. I probably I have no time to see them, man. I probably it's much more how I feel. So how I feel is I understand that when I go and grow myself in different ways, and I'm making sure that no matter what, that I focus upon loving my life differently. I'm just making sure that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly upon how people are around me. And because I understand straight away how fast I go and do life in different ways, I promise you I can feel how I understand that no matter what, that those people never trust you, never even want to hear anything that you have. I mean, and promise you that's the way it is. Promise you must understand that they totally block themselves from you, and that's the way it is. Promise you, if you understand that no matter what, that if you just keep going your way and go your direction and stick to the words of life and stick to the nice and beautiful fantasy of life where you understand that no matter what, that it's in your words of life where you can actually go and do better than that. I'm only the word I love I. I'm making sure anyway that since I actually focus upon anybody in my life, I'm focusing on anything that's actually helping me to move forward. So I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly upon what I need to do to succeed. Because that is the actual fantasy that you need, which is making sure that you can go and dwell upon that in the way of just understanding straight away that you're learning very quickly upon what you want. So if you want something successful every single day, then you understand that no matter what, I'm only the word I. And I'm understanding that no matter what, it's much more how I feel. So if you feel that you want to do fantasy with people in a way that you're doing greater than them, in a way that you're making sure that you can go and do whatever you want. I mean, do whatever you want in a way that you're learning and growing. Then yeah, I mean, you can enjoy yourself. I mean, you must understand that what's important is understanding every single day how to grow yourself in different ways, and you're making sure every single day you're learning very quickly upon what you want. But as you really tell every single day, I can see, for example, Tina Chupic, I realize that she is somebody who's much more, let's say, in a way that she's feisty, in a way that she's far more willing to be able to be with you rather than other people. So I'm understanding anyway that since I'm actually just naming these people, I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm learning far greater upon the attractiveness of people, and those people who want to be far more with you are far more attractive. And why is that? Because you're just finding yourself much more. So I'm not saying that from the woman of the past over here, I understand that no matter what, that I can see some women popping up around here. I'm understanding all that most of them are gone. And now, I mean, is there any kind of woman that are coming after me over here? Actually not. Actually none of them. I mean, in a sense, so everything else is a facade. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, I realize every single day to just shh. I'll go somewhere quickly. I'll go somewhere else. I understand, because that way I never ever need those women. I'm probably they're so fucking boring. Probably they're so fucking boring in my life. I'm probably they have fucking nothing to do. I love it. Probably they look forward to a restaurant. Or should I look forward to a restaurant to sit down and fucking talk nothing? I mean, that's it. I mean, guess what? I mean, they talk something. I mean, nobody's nothing. I realize, although, make sure you understand that they fucking so boring that they just want to fucking go to a restaurant today. And then they fucking go to a restaurant again. And a fucking restaurant again. And a fucking restaurant again. Probably they fucking have nothing to do, I promise you. Probably those women have nothing to do. Probably then they want to stay home a bit. Or they want to stay home with their parents. I mean, they want to stay home with their parents and family. And then guess what? They may ask, I mean, do you want kids? I mean, they may say, I mean, do you want kids? I mean, they're so fucking boring. I promise you. I understand Jesus understands that. I realize although Jesus Christ never calls them boring, I call them boring. I mean, I promise you. I call them very boring, man. Promise you, it's much more how Jesus understands what I mean. I'm not sure, although, but because I'm understanding that, promise you, it's more how I feel. But if you understand anyway, that you have to go and really, really dwell upon a greater life. I mean, understand. But because I'm saying that, I'm really understanding that no matter what, I see some other guys in terms of when I see guys and how they actually talk in life. I can see how the women and the men from the past, first the men are doing far greater. First the men are doing far greater than the women. First, is it really though? First, although I can say, or else I can say although that there's a nice and beautiful slight equalness over here. First, they're doing excellent in both ways. I mean, in a sense, so anyway, I realize that the men are doing far greater than the women because here I am, man. I'm doing far greater than all of them. I'm understanding that men are ruling this world today. It's never the woman. I mean, in a sense, but the woman can understand how to rule the world if they understand the word I. There's yet to be a woman who understands the word I in this lifetime. I want you to be. I want you to be the first one. I understand Jesus Christ understands that. I understand Jesus Christ understands that my daughter is understanding the word I. I want you, she's the first one to be the word I, man. I want you, that's the best, huh? I want you, it's much more how I feel. I promise you, if I understand something, I deserve a daughter in life. I deserve sons as well. I deserve some sons as well. But the thing is, I understand straight away what I mean. I understand Jesus Christ understands when there is no other woman. I'm pretty sure there's no woman in the planet that understands the word I. I'm a man only. I'm sure there's no woman out there that understands the word I. I'm pretty sure there has to be. I'm pretty sure has to be my daughter then. She has to be my daughter. Anyway, I deserve it. I mean, in a sense, so what I do is I just let her be. I mean, in a sense, so what I want to do is I first, and I focus upon understanding that what I realize about life is something different. I realize it's much more maturity to understand what you need in life. And as you grow yourself differently, and then you focus upon something new for yourself, and you're enjoying yourself, and you're making sure that you're making love with your words. I mean, make love with that. I mean, stick to the words. Whereas people feel loneliness because they're escaping from their words. I mean, people feel anxiety and they feel terror and they feel that they're losing in life because they're never sticking to the words. I mean, they're never following the words that they say. I mean, they're following other people's words. I mean, and guess what? I'm following other people's words too. I'm following other people's words. I'm following just Jesus Christ's words. I'm not following anybody else's words. I mean, understand? I'm pretty sure they're never following Jesus Christ's words. They're following other people's words that is never Jesus Christ. I promise you. I make sure anyway that what's important for myself is learning quickly upon understanding how I fall into deep bliss and sleep over here, where I understand that no matter what, that I'm learning much more than that. But I never fall into sleep. I make sure that I learn quickly upon what I'm doing, much more. I realize it's much more how I understand that I feel much more in nice and beautiful behavior bonds over here, where I can just go lay down. I can make sure the heater is on number one. I can just go and do my life over here. So what I do is different acts of courage, and I'm understanding no matter what. I understand straight away my love for I and what I do and how I do it. Making sure I'm lifting my life. Honestly, I have to listen back to my music track over here. I'm understanding that sleep never satisfies me. Approach sleep is actually never eternal. Approach now, is it really approach? If I ask Jesus Christ over here, I understand that Jesus Christ says that sleep is actually part of eternity. I mean, in eternity you can sleep, but you can go to sleep somewhere. Approach is. Approach sleep is like thanking God. You understand? Actually, it's nice and beautiful to sleep, but Jesus Christ says over here that he never slept. Actually, that
Jesus Christ says that he does sleep as well. I mean, Jesus Christ says he does sleep. I mean, but what is sleeping? I realize the sleeping is the word I. I'm pretty sure if you understand that. I'm pretty sure it's more how it is, huh? I'm pretty sure it's more how if you fall asleep, then just fall asleep sometimes. I mean that way you'll just enjoy yourself. I make sure anyway that what I do today is I'm understanding that no matter what, that nothing else can fulfill me except my words. I'm pretty sure nothing can fulfill me except words. I'm pretty sure only words can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure nothing else. I mean, it's just that. I'm pretty sure it's just that kind of way, yeah. I'm pretty sure silence can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure silence can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure images can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure words can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure air can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure sleep can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ can fulfill me. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else in life. I mean, I'm saying, but that's all I stick to. For sure, pleasure and moment can never fulfill me. For sure, the words they give me can fulfill me. I don't know why. For sure, people giving you words of encouragement. For sure, it's fulfillment. For sure, I feel other people are coming to my event over here. I'm making sure I do have at least over 10 people coming to my event. I do have at least over 10 people coming to my event at the moment. I realize I can get up to 100, so I can get up to 100, but what I need to do is far greater work. I have to go and really, really promote my business cards. I have to give at least 10,000 business cards. Whereas now 10,000 business cards gets me 100 followers in terms of 100 people at the event. Whereas now I understand although that what I need to do now to do that, I realize that it's much more doable than I just let it be. I'm pretty sure I'll make money on the first event. And I realized I want to go and promote my events much more. I realized that no matter what, I can see around 10 people coming to my event. And guess what? Probably just that. I just move on. I do far greater. I could get it up to at least. I understand that no matter what, I can afford everything. But I'm understanding that everything can be done. Or else now, I stop promotion when? Or else now, I never stop promotion for my event. I keep promoting. I'm making sure always that to the last second that I promote all my business cards. And what I can do now is just give $100. I give $100. Or now $100 gives me how many? I mean, $100 gives me 1,000 actual business cards. Whereas 100 business cards is $10. I have to give $1,000. I have to give $1,000 to promote myself here and more. I can do that. Love I. Whereas although I make sure now I promote myself very quickly with whatever I can. I make sure that you guys understand I'm just going really, really dwelling upon this event in a way I give it all in a way. Now I'm never wasting time, but because I'm doing audio programs along the way on loving life, I make sure I understand how they're giving words to other people over here. And guess what? Probably it's much more. I never need their words, man. I never need their words. But what is it about that? I mean, what is the stretch about being with other people? I mean, for fuck's sake, I mean, never try to be with other people. I mean, try to go somewhere alone. I mean, forget them. I mean, they have nothing to give you a person. They have nothing to do. Or should they take your time away? Or should they never take your time away? It's more how you have to understand to never be around those people because they waste time. I mean, they waste time. I understand. I mean, what? I mean, what do you want? I mean, if you want pleasure from them, and that's why you're running to them, yeah? I mean, people go to other people just to get pleasure. I mean, people in life, in terms of life, have. I'll probably show other people in life that you've met only have value when you want pleasure from them. I'll probably show when you want pleasure from a woman or man, probably then they have value. But if you never want pleasure from them, you never want their words, probably it never matters about them anymore. Probably they give you no value. Probably women today, in terms of my life and people around me, have no value to give me. Probably they have nothing to give me. Probably they can never satisfy me. Probably they can never give me words of encouragement. Probably they can never do anything for me. I mean, and now my biological dad gave me the $80. I mean, does it fulfill me? Probably, yeah. Probably fulfills me. Probably fulfills me that somebody loves me. But it's more how I understand that. I understand it's just like Jesus Christ giving me the Bible. Probably my biological dad gave me $80 today. But Jesus Christ gave me the word of the Bible. I feel exactly the same. Probably it's the exact same giving. Probably the same thing that my biological dad gave me $80 is the exact same value as Jesus Christ giving the Bible. I mean, you understand that? Probably it's the exact same value. Probably fulfills me the same way. I mean, how is that possible though? Probably it's because of the giving. Probably the giving of that, where my biological dad gave something, and so did Jesus Christ. I mean, that fulfills me. I mean, it's equal giving, yeah. Probably it's equal giving. Probably who gave more? I mean, who gave me more in that? Probably Jesus Christ gave me more. When Jesus Christ gave me more in that. I mean, Jesus Christ's Bible is more than $80. I mean, understand? I mean, do you understand that? Like, it's equal giving. Because the equal giving is eternal. I mean, understand? And that's what Jesus Christ says with the grandmother who gave the last penny in the Bible. And other people were giving tens of millions of dollars. I mean, understand? I mean, that's why I understand that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly upon what's happening around the world and what I need to do to succeed in different ways. But I'm not saying that they can never fulfill me. I never need their touch. I never need to touch them. I never need to try to have sex with them or something like that. I'm not saying although I feel this karma or something like something's happening around me in a way that I feel I'm letting go. I'm letting go of these people. I'm letting go of these people. I never need them around me, personally. I never need to touch them. I never need to go around them to touch them. I never need to touch other people. I never need to make their kids. I never need to fantasize about them. I understand? I fantasize about my words growing and that's it. I mean, is that sad? I mean, is it sad to grow yourself? Probably never. Probably it's never grow to. Probably it's never to grow, but yes to grow. I mean, you must grow, and you must understand every single day that nothing fulfills me except I. Probably images. Probably images. I mean, what about images, man? I mean, images is words. I mean, just look at the words. I mean, understand how it is to be spiritual right now. I'm doing better than that. I understand that no matter what, I'm successful. I'm making sure that I'm always delivering content. I'm making sure that no matter what. But now, since I'm actually understanding what's going on, I'm making sure anyway that I live my life. And as I live my life, approaching these people that are around me, approach they're going the lone road. Approach they're so alone right now. I can see it. I can see it straight away. I can see straight away they're all alone. Approach they're always alone. And they're trying to fulfill themselves through other people, through pleasure. Approach they're trying to run to other people for pleasure. I mean, you're saying approach they're slaves to pleasure. I mean, all I'm saying is never run to other people to love. I mean, never run to other people to have pleasure. I mean, never run to yourself to have pleasure. I mean, never run to pleasure. That's what Jesus Christ is saying. I mean, never run to pleasure. I mean, try to delay pleasure. I mean, try to speak more than pleasure. I mean, try to do something else rather than pleasure. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's much more. Because then you're going to understand eternal life is in the delay gratification. I promise you. I mean, you find out quickly that sex never satisfies you, but the words satisfy you. The words. Speaking words satisfies you. I realize, although because I'm speaking so much now, I realize my voice is getting better. I'm making sure no matter what that I'm learning very quickly upon what's going on around the world and how to succeed and how to dwell upon life. I'm understanding that I was feeling so lonely before because I was trying to catch on to some woman or something in terms of sex with other people. And I was trying to dwell upon fantasy with other people in a way of orgy and trying to do that for myself. I was trying to go and just waste time. I love it. I was going to other people because of drugs. I was going to other people because of pleasure, because of sex. I was just using them for sex. in terms of pleasure. And it's much more how unattractive that is. But it's so unattractive when you're just going to other people for pleasure only. It's the most that's the most unattractive aspect of life. I mean, you're never going there to communicate, I love you. I mean, you're just going there to fuck and boom, and just fuck off. I mean, that's the worst thing. I mean, I say.